Have you ever been so frustrated with something that you came up with a solution? Well, today's notion that I designed, it came out of that frustration. Every time I would go to baste my quilt sandwich with my quilting pins, it was a hot mess. You want to keep those pins open when you take them out because then you'd have to close them back up and then put them in and then open them back up. It's just a lot of what I don't want to do. Not to mention, it gets to be one big hot ball mess. I ended up figuring out a solution for me. So that means I figured out the solution for you too. You know the drill. I'm Tracy. This is the Sewing Channel. Enough talking already. Let's get busy making our basting quilt pin hangout. Today I'm using a 4-ounce jar with one of those reusable plastic lids. A standard thin elastic ponytail holder, polyfill or leftover batting works great for this too. To get my measurement, I laid my jar down on my fabric and I eyeballed a spot that was on the jar. I think it was a number 2, and I just rolled it until I got to the number 2, stopped, marked my spot with my finger, and then I added an inch or so to that. For the other measurement, all you need to do is double the height of your jar. Mine was 4 inches, so I ended up with an 8 by 10 piece of fabric. On the 10-inch length, you're going to take both ends and put a memory crease of a hem in both sides, and then you're going to take it to the sewing machine and top stitch right along both of those hems, securing those both sides down. Now it's time to take your ponytail holder and slide it up on one of the raw edges of the fabric there, just to the middle, just slide it on, and then you're going to fold it over right sides together with that rubber band in there and line the edges up. Go ahead and pin that first part. It'll make it easier once you get to the sewing machine. And then you're just going to sew a 1/4 inch or so all the way down this seam, closing that elastic ponytail holder up in there. Turn it right side out and then find the seam and line up your ponytail holder with the seam. And shove that ponytail holder down into one of those ditches there, just like you see how I had it. Take your sewing bed off of your sewing machine. This project was totally meant for a free arm. I want to note too that I moved my needle over so that it was close to the rubber band, and you want to encase it right in there. This is what you should have so far. Both ends are open at this point, but we're going to close one of them right now. And here you can see I have sewed up one of those sides and one is still open because we need to stuff our filling in somewhere. I chose polyfill and I took a little tool and just shoved down in there. You can use your fingers or however you do it. Here I put it on just to test it on my jar, and I decided to take some of the filling out and then I had to stuff it back in. You don't want it overly full and firm, and you don't want it too soft and saggy, so medium is just right. Push the stuffing away from the opening and then sew right on the seam that was already there, closing everything up. Once the seam is closed, then push all your batting back around in all the right places. Pop it on the bottom rung of your jar and put your lid on. And look at that. Oh my word. Now pick through all those pins and put your favorite ones on the outside and put the ones you use less often inside. Just when you thought it couldn't get any better for your basting pins. Grab a nice big command hook, put the sticky on it, center it on the jar lid, and press it down firmly. And just like that, basting my quilts just got a little easier. Take a look at your screen right now. I have hand-picked some videos just for you if you liked today's tutorial. Go ahead, click on one of them, and I'll see you in the next video. Until next time on the Sewing Channel, take care.